Hello, and welcome back to True Talk Cafe, where we have real conversations about work, leadership, life, and everything in between. Today, I want to ask you a question that may make you pause. That is, would your future self thank you for what you're doing today? Again, that question is, would your future self thank you for what you're doing today? Not your boss, not your coworkers, not the people watching on social media, just you. The version of you 5 years from now, 10 years from now, the version of you who has already lived through the consequences of today's decisions. Would that person look back and say, thank you, you made the right choices? Or would they say, we really could have done a better job? Because here's the truth, your future self is being created by the decisions you're making today. And sometimes we're so focused on surviving today that we forget we're also building tomorrow. So let's talk about your future self. Your future self isn't some imaginary person, it's you, but with more experience, more perspective, wisdom, and hopefully fewer lessons you had to learn the hard way. Your future self is the result of the choices you make when nobody is watching. It's what happens when you decide to finally leave the job that's draining you, right? When you stop saying yes to things that consistently cost you your peace. When you take that class, start the business, have difficult conversations. Maybe when you set a boundary, apply for a position, ask for the money, right? Or go after that opportunity. Or you finally admit, this isn't working for me anymore. Those decisions may not change your life overnight, but they can absolutely change the direction of your life. And direction matters. So here's something else we don't talk about enough. Sometimes your future isn't changed by what you do. It's changed by what you refuse to do. The conversation you never had, the opportunity you didn't pursue. Maybe it's the business you never started or the boundary you didn't set, right? Do any of these ring a bell? Let's be honest. Perfect timing isn't often a very sophisticated excuse. We tell ourselves, I'll do it when things settle down. I'll start next year. I'll do it when I have more money. I have said that one to myself. I'll do it when I feel more confident. But what if confidence doesn't come before the decision? What if confidence comes because you made the decision? Your future self may not need you to have everything figured out. Your future self may simply need you to be willing to take the next step. So I want you to think about your life right now. Think about your career, relationships, finances, health, leadership, your dreams. And now ask yourself, if I continue making the same decisions I'm making today, where will they take me? Not where do you hope they'll take you? Where are they actually taking you? Because your habits are voting for your future. Let me say that again. Your habits are voting for your future. Your calendar is voting for your future. Your spending, your conversations, and your courage or lack thereof, they're all voting for your future. Now, that's not meant to scare you. It's meant to remind you that you have more influence over your future than you may realize. So imagine meeting yourself 5 years from now. That version of you has accomplished something you've been thinking about for years. It could look like maybe you changed a career, you built a business, you became an executive. Maybe you finally became financially independent. Or maybe you walked away from something that was no longer aligned with who you were becoming. Could be you stopped playing small. Now imagine that future version of you sitting across the table saying, "You have no idea how much today's decision changed my life." That's the power of intentional decisions. We often think transformation happens through one giant dramatic moment, right? And it could. But typically, most transformations happen through a series of seemingly small decisions. That could look like one conversation, an application, a boundary, one investment, or one brave no, or one courageous yes. And eventually, those decisions become a completely different life. So here's your True Talk Cafe action step for this week. I want you to write a letter, but not to your future self. I want you to write a letter from your future self. Yes, let that future self do the talking. So you could start with, "Dear me, you have no idea how much the decisions you made in 2026 changed everything." Then go on to describe your future. You want to talk about where are you? What are you doing? What have you accomplished? Who are you surrounded by? What did you finally stop tolerating? What did you finally start doing? And most importantly, what decisions changed everything? Maybe your future self says, "Thank you for leaving when you knew it was time." Or, "Thank you for believing in yourself before everyone else did." It could be you tell yourself, "Thank you for taking the risk." Or, "Thank you for protecting your peace." That's a good one, right? Also, a couple others. "Thank you for finally charging what you were worth." Or maybe, "Thank you for choosing yourself." Go ahead, write it down, but don't overthink it and don't edit it. Let your future self tell you what today's version of you needs to hear. Because here's the thing, your future isn't waiting for you. It's being built right now. Every decision is a brick. Every habit is a brick. Every courageous move is a brick. And eventually, you are going to have to live inside what you've built. So build something your future self will be proud of and to be proud to inherit. And the next time you're standing at a crossroads, whether it's a career decision, a leadership decision, a relationship, or simply a decision about what you're willing to accept, ask yourself, would my future self thank me for this? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, you may have just found the decision that needs to change. Until next time, remember, your future self isn't asking you to have it all figured out, right? Because nobody does. They're asking you to make decisions today that make tomorrow worth living. Now go write that letter. Your future self is waiting to hear from you. I'm Renee, and thank you for joining me today on True Talk Cafe. And as always, no fluff, no filter, just true talk.